Of a parent-teacher conference, ready to indulge in those I wish I could say that moments? You're in luck because you've just pressed play on the top-rated teacher comedy podcast on the planet. It's time for Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Here's your host, the teacher comedian himself, Devin Siebold.
Hey-o, Crying in My Car, podcast for teachers. My name is Devin Siebold. I've got my good buddy, Mr. Greg, the Angry Texan Parrot, in the house today. How you doing, buddy?
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, Cowboys won. That's good. The Bucks did not, but the
They played
Cowboys
hard.
won. Yeah. So I saw 2 interceptions from Brady. That's like what's he got, 4 now for his career? That's unbelievable.
Well,
but
they're all against the Giants and
the Saints,
Miami, and the Saints.
Happy Halloween to all the people out there that were celebrated Halloween. I know today is like, teacher D-Day. You got all the kids coming in with tons of candy, hopped up. I remember I just would see so much candy in backpacks and everybody just kind of bouncing off the walls. A Monday after Halloween is just the worst for teachers. It's bad when Halloween is during the week. Okay, this does sound like I'm underwater. Hopefully, it might be the it might be the connection that we have here, kind of a bad connection. So if you can't hear real well, I kind of turned it down a little bit, the volume, so that it'll be a little bit better. But if you can't hear real well, I'm going to record it and post it online too, so you can watch it back later, or you can listen to the podcast on any of the streaming services. But yeah, having it right after Halloween is not good. It is a little bit, nuts. Monday right after Halloween.
We had the big bash at the restaurant.
Yeah,
and we had a band. We had costume contest, and lots of kids. We had so much candy. Those big giant tubs that have the 2 ropes?
Yeah.
They're like plastic. That thing was full. I mean, I could barely lift it. It was full of candy.
Wow.
And we gave out so much candy. I mean, if you came in the restaurant yesterday and you were a kid and you didn't even have a costume on, I don't care. I'm giving this candy to you because I'm going to end up, it was like laying out heroin in front of a recovered heroin addict.
Right.
I'm just sitting there going, if I eat that, is that going to make me lose a toe? I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
So, by the way, just a shout out I haven't been on the weight loss challenge site in a while, but I'm officially down 50 pounds. Bro.
Yeah, nobody cares. We stopped that group. We stopped it when we started seeing you succeed, and we're done. The challenge is over. You won the challenge. Congratulations.
I didn't even know it was a challenge. I thought there was other people, but I just wanted to tell everybody, if you cut sugar out, it will start dropping off really good. Right. And the Cowboys will start winning. It's amazing.
It's hard for teachers to cut sugar out when we have so much sugar in our classroom available to us right now. But I don't. Oh man,
the rappers,
right?
Rappers everywhere.
Caleb asked where you can find the podcast. Spotify. Yep, it's on Spotify, iHeart, all over. Stream it. Man, I had an awesome weekend. I mean, it was cool to be with the kids and everything, but last night, so my ex, she gets them every other Halloween. So last night was her Halloween. So Kate and I didn't have any kids. We put a bucket in front of the house and said, hey, come by if you want and grab some candy. And I got so lucky, bro. Now, if you're a Disney fan out there, your jaw is going to drop. Right now, your jaw is going to drop. It's going to hit the floor. If you're not a Disney fan, you might not understand this, but we got a 7:55 p.m. reservation at the California Grill at the top of the Contemporary, right in front of the window, in front of the castle, 5 minutes before the nighttime fireworks started.
No way.
And let me tell you right now, there is no better seat in all of Disney World. None. I mean, unless you're in front of the castle, obviously, but seeing it from the air, they dim the lights in the restaurant and they start playing the music. So it's like you're there. Like you can, it's all part of it's all part of it. Yeah, because it's the best view. It's the best view you can get. And everybody knows that. Like people stand up from their tables and everybody goes outside and watches it, and we didn't have to stand up. We were sitting right there at the window and it was awesome, man. And the meal was incredible. Oh my gosh, the food it was next level, man.
You're
It was
like-
something else.
Like I had chicken fingers a la carte.
and we also had a little addition added to the house this past weekend.
You're expecting?
No, Kate messaged me and showed me a picture, and you know what?
I think I know what it is. I think I saw it online.
You probably saw it online. Yeah. We have a one-eyed Chihuahua named Wink.
Arg.
Yeah. Now let me tell you, she was apparently somebody posted who was fostering it. Said this is Wink. Wink was born with two eyes. Got into a fight with another dog at the pound. Lost his other eye. So, anyways, she sent a picture of this one-eyed Chihuahua to me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's adorable." And it said that he had a good demeanor, and I was like, because Chihuahuas, they're hit or miss. They're hit or miss. And she was like, "I'm gonna go check it out." And I was like, "Okay, go check it out." She didn't even think she was getting it, Dude, there was like 400 comments saying, "I want the dog, I want the dog, I want the dog." And she was first to go to the house and check it out. Picked up this dog, and dude, she said it's adorable and it's the nicest dog in the world. The dog, I said, get it. If you feel like this is something that you think is going to be forever, and he's meant for the family, and the kids love him, and the kids all went too, and they got along great with him. I said, if he's good with the kids, I'm fine. Let's bring him into the home. So she brings him home. Oh my gosh, dude, I don't think I fell in love with the dog quicker in my entire life. Landon is my boy. I love Landon to death. Landon's been around 17 years. Landon is my homeboy, but he's also really old. Like he's 17.
Oh, you've already replaced
He lays
him.
around. No, he lays around. And I think this is actually going to be good for him to have a little youthful, because the Chihuahua is only a year old and he wants to play, and I think it would be kind of cool to bring in a little, basically a chance to my chase, from Homeward Bound, the old retriever, the young pit bull running around. And
you used to be like when Buster. Buster's almost as old as.
Yeah, Buster used to play around with Landon, but this thing, I'll be honest, bro, I fell in love. This dog is the best demeanor. It is the cutest dog. Wants to cuddle, wants to play. Just it's concerned. Like if you sneeze, it freezes and it comes over to you. It's like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right, man? I just saw something sudden, And you pick him up and he just licks your face and just is ecstatic to be there. You walk in the door, he does circles like, "Oh my God, they're home." He just met us, and thinks that we're the coolest people in the entire world. And you take him for walks. And I mean, he's awesome, this little dog. So, and I was resistant. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little resistant. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be great, to have another Chihuahua, because she had a Chihuahua before. He was the cutest dog and it was adorable, and she loved him and he loved her. And that was the extent of all the love that he would give. He hated me. He hated everyone around him. It was one of those dogs that was like straight up, I am with her and anybody else I hate within a 10-mile radius. And so the kids couldn't pet the dog. He would get mad, and this one, though, all he wants is pets. All he wants is
Just
love.
full rut.
Yeah. So I'll post some pictures of this dog, but he's one-eyed. We've already gone on Etsy looking for eye patches.
Awesome, dude. Please get one that's a pirate.
Dude, I was thinking about pirate, and then what else I thought? This would be so funny, but so messed up. If we got an eye patch, but it had like
A little laser?
a stick like poking out of it and like blood around it, and like you take it places and they're like, "Oh man, that's cute." You're like, "What's cute?" "Oh my God!" He just ran under a bush. How did that happen? Just freak people out. Be like, "Ah!" and then flip it open. And, "Oh my God!" But then be like, "I was kidding. That's it. He didn't have an eye."
Or you could, like I said, look like one that looks like the Borg.
Yeah, Borg.
Or a laser.
I thought Mad Eye Moody. Give him a Mad Eye Moody Harry Potter one that
The one
like,
that's
roams
little-
around.
Those little funny little things with the little eyeball that like
Oh my God, dude! Yeah, the squiggly guy.
Yeah, you can get those at the
I can
craft
put a
store.
squiggly guy that he's because he moves all around.
Yeah, all you have to do is those things have tape or glue on them. You just put it on there. And
the SPCA has entered the chat. They're like, yeah, how about not? But
heat is already getting on to
right. He's cute. He's adorable. I'm all for him. So,
well, I saw the picture of Kate and the boys and Kate's daughter, and I was just like, oh my God, they look so happy.
Yeah, they love him, and that's cool. But yeah, I think it's really funny. It's a really awesome dog. And then I did shows this weekend. The new Laugh Out Lounge in
Yes.
It's fantastic. Great opening. Good crowds.
And everybody, if you get a chance, give a round of applause to Mike Lee.
Yeah, it was great.
And I never thought, I guess it was 9 years ago. I'll never forget where he was at when he said, dude, we should open up our own comedy club one day. It'd be pretty cool. And we dropped a glass of Jägermeister into another glass of Red Bull, and we drank that. And that was how I remember him saying he was going to have a comedy club. And I was like, yeah, that's
neat.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And it really happened. And I'm so proud of him because he's got the opportunity to bring so much to this small town that is just continuing to grow.
Right. And also Wednesday and Thursday, I opened for Jim Brewer. I get to work with Jim Brewer. And Jim Brewer, I posted the picture online. Hey, I always work with Jim. And I knew people would come in with their politics. And because Jim has been in the kind of hot seat lately on right-wing news, kind of very against vaccine mandates. Not against vaccines, against vaccine mandates, especially for his shows. And, I got the call to open for him, and my politics and his politics don't necessarily align, but I'm a big fan of comedy, and I'm here for comedy. And I know that he is one funny comedian, and gosh, I don't know how to say it, man. I left there depressed about how good he was. I mean, there were people, somebody commented and they were like, I saw him in Philadelphia and I couldn't breathe with the show. I literally thought we were having to do CPR to people. Like, people could not catch their breath laughing at this man. I was backstage wondering if I could even go up to say goodnight to people because I was crying tears of laughter. Dude, he was one of the funniest comedians I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, ever. And I was listening to it. I wasn't even getting the visuals of, typical Brewer, facial expressions and everything. Gosh, he's good. And so I just admire the comedy. I mean, he didn't go out there and do political. He didn't preach anything. He just talked about his dying cat. He talked about, all sorts of things that were just fun. And not that dying cats are fun, but that were, just funny and jokes.
Right. And that's where we should. That's where you and I, we've talked about this. As comedians, we need to stay out of politics. We need to make America great again by making people laugh. All comics.
Yeah,
we do not need to be in
not
politics.
All comics. They're political. Lewis Black is I wouldn't be happy if he wasn't political.
But he just makes fun of politics.
But here's the thing: is I can appreciate jokes from both sides. I went sat 3 rows back at Dennis Miller and listened to him talk, right wing this, right wing that, and laugh my butt off. And I can go to Lewis Black and sit front row and listen to him talk, kind of in the middle, I think.
He really is in the middle.
He leans a little more left, and then I laugh my butt off, and then I can go to Chelsea Handler and listen to her, and Kathy Griffin. I think it's hysterical. People get lost in the political posts, but the actual comedy, the laughter, if you really just take time out to enjoy the actual comedy behind it, it's brilliant. It's great stuff. It's funny. And, laugh for both sides. One of my favorite comedians is really, really good at writing jokes. And he is so far, I wouldn't even say right. I mean, he's just kind of conspiracy, and that's Nick DiPaolo. I've heard Nick a bunch of times. He's the nicest man in the world to me. He says some of the most vile things on this podcast, but his comedy, if you just go see a show, you can sit back and laugh, and you laugh at things that aren't, relevant to you, that you just go, I disagree with that, but man, that's a funny take on it, and that's the kind of where I think we need more of that. I think we need to kind of just laugh at ourselves every once in a while. I mean,
stop canceling each other. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Look at me. I have a battle scar on my forehead. I bled for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, just go out and have fun.
You're celebrating this way too much.
No, I'm proud of it.
If,
Because I'm a big
you're
wrestling
watching
fan.
the video, you're like, what's wrong with Greg's forehead? Greg did the dumbest thing I've ever seen on stage.
What have I
My
done
entire
for
life.
9 years? I've done the same
He
joke.
does a joke where he gets mad and he takes the mic and he literally hits himself on the forehead.
And go,
Yeah,
and part of the
and
joke, and it's a good laugh.
about how, I'm such an idiot, boom, or they're idiots, and then he hits his head. But he hit his head with a brand new, Greg, I don't know if you're aware of this, but these are nice mics.
Yeah.
He has the same one, because Mike steps it up. He knows, good audio. These are solid.
Yeah.
And you hit your head, and then he's trying to do the next joke, and he's just bleeding.
And like people are like staring at me, turning like this, and all of a sudden I felt something go like this, and I was like, "Uh-oh!" And I went like this, and I was like, "Yes!"
Right.
And I celebrated, and everybody laughed and cut up. But the funniest was the next day because my boss from the restaurant, the owner, was at the show, and so the next day I come into work and I walk up and I'm like, "Hey." And he turns around and he goes, "Hey," and he looks at my forehead and just starts laughing.
That's funny.
He turns and he goes, "Well," he said, "I can't say that you don't bleed for that job." I'm like, well, I christened the stage.
Man.
Let it be known that Laugh Out Lounge has been christened
Yes.
by the blood of the angry Texan.
Oh my gosh, that should not have happened. But anyways, yeah. So, and also don't forget, you can support the podcast online, patreon.com/crying in my car. Got all my tour dates up at devincomedy.com. Now, I want to take a second before we get into the teachers in the news. There's a lot of teachers out there that are kind of at a crossroads. They're tired of teaching. They're not sure if they need to be in the classroom. They're frustrated with administration. They're not sure, what their next career step is going to be. And as you guys know, I'm an interesting guy. I have a lot of sponsors that come to me and they say, I want to sponsor the podcast. And I've denied, I can't tell you how many. I have so many unread emails and I go, it's not going to work. I don't want it. I don't want it. People that they go, hey, we'll just throw money at you. And I say, but I don't think that the teachers that are listening are going to get anything out of it. I don't think that there's a market for it. But I recently, talked to somebody and I said, what, this one, I think this is a good pairing because there's a lot of teachers out there that say they're frustrated with teaching and they don't really know what direction they're going to take. And I think that, a lot of teachers should start considering administration. And I know that they're like, what? I don't like administrators. And I say, what? Then become an administrator and become the administrator that you would love as a teacher.
Yeah.
You're in the classroom and you know what it takes to be a great administrator. So take that step to become one. And then they say, well, I just don't have the time. I'd have to re-sign up for school and all this other stuff. And that's where Gwynedd Mercy University comes in. They are one of the top ranked schools in the country for social mobility, and they have been in business for 70 years. This is not one of those, that just pops up and starts doing stuff online. They know what they're doing.
Established.
Yeah. And so right now they have a Master of Science in Educational Administration that they are offering, and this is pretty cool. It comes with a dual certification. So if you're unsure where you belong in administration, the dual certification, you get the K-12 principal certification and the supervisor of curriculum and instruction certification, and it can be completed entirely online in as little as 2 years. So you can do it from home. They also have the Doctorate of Education with 4 different concentration offers. It is an award-winning program that they have. It is online and can be completed in under 3 years. Then you get to say, PhD, you get the doctorate. That's pretty cool. And then it is, again, like I said, all online, and it has a 3-year graduation rate over 1,000% higher than the national average. And get this, a lot of people go, well, if I'm going to sign up for a doctoral program, I can't, I got to worry about that dissertation. That's the part that kind of keeps people out of it. And you get dissertation support from the very first day. The very first day, they will support you in writing that dissertation and making sure that you get that doctorate of education. Then you can move into administration. Obviously, a change of career path, you're going to be making more money. Your hours are going to be different, and you can make the changes that you want to see in teaching. So I strongly suggest, looking at it. I did a little bit of research, and I can't speak highly enough of Gwinnett Mercy University. You can check them out, just so you're aware. If you want to sign up or get information today, go to gmercyu.edu, gmercyu.edu, and they will be happy to help you in getting out of your teaching role and into an authoritative online, curriculum, and get in there as an administrator. So check them out. Now let's go into the teachers in the news. Oh, and well, no, it deserves applause.
Yes, it does. Man, what a great program.
Let's go into teachers of the news. Teachers in the news.
From classrooms to chaos, we searched high and low for the craziest teacher stories this week. Here are your teachers in the news.
All right, teachers in the news. It is Gwinnett Mercy University. Somebody asked me what university. Gwinnett Mercy, and you can go to gmercyu.com or .edu, sorry. All right, so interesting teachers in the news stuff going on. This is, I don't know, man. I sit here and I look at some of these ones and I go, what is this? What is that? What is this? And man, it's all Florida stuff. It is all Florida stuff. And this one is a bit frustrating. So there's a Florida school board member who received death threats after taking elementary students on a field trip to a gay-friendly bar and grill. And at first I was like, well, that's an interesting field trip. That's an interesting choice. I can see how, it says obviously that conservatives, it says that she posted online, hey, we had such a fun time. I was so honored to be invited to chaperone this field trip at Rosie's Bar and Grill. And the students and I had a great fun. And apparently Rosie's Bar and Grill embraces its LGBTQ clientele, when they're open. But get this. So people, I guess, have been just really going after her, saying it's inappropriate, it's wrong, you're exposing children to, drugs and debauchery and child abuse, and she should be prosecuted. But they're not doing the research behind this. This Rosie's Bar and Grill has been a field trip for local students for over a decade.
Yeah.
And they're going to the bar and grill, just so you're aware. They go to this bar and grill basically to learn math skills. They go over menu prices. They watch the servers, the kitchen managers come out and talk about how everything runs. The chefs discuss what goes behind the food. This is a hands-on field trip into a working restaurant and bar that shows what life is like for these, servers and for the managers, and what goes into menu pricing and how they're able to make profit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get a better field trip in terms of, that it's just people get so.
So how would this be any different than Chili's Bar and Grill, which also embraces the community?
Well, that's the thing, man. There's people. I said we were going on a field trip to Disney World. Disney World definitely embraces LGBTQ. They're big sponsors of it. Everywhere you go, there's Mickey rainbow flags and things like that, and merchandise, Pride Week stuff. They do big things for LGBTQ members of the community. But nobody would complain, hey, you went to Disney World. It's just, people sometimes, I think, just want something to complain about. And also, they only read the headlines. I will say that. They only read the headlines. And let me tell you this. Even this article just really goes into what's wrong with the media sometimes, where it says, this is the headline, Florida teacher receives death threat after taking students to a gay bar on a field trip. Is that what happened?
Yeah, no, that's not.
That's not what happened.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and give you clickbait headlines, and people read the headline, they don't read anything else,
and then they get mad.
They go on their angry tirade. But then this is the thing. This is the problem. Is people, and it goes back to the people too. People will read an angry headline, get mad, type it out, and then be told the true story, and they won't be wrong. They don't want to be wrong. So they'll double down on their anger and hatred, because they don't want to be that person that didn't read the article and go, oh, you know what? You're right. My mistake. We don't have people that can say my mistake.
Yeah.
My bad. I did this wrong. I overreacted. tell me when you'll ever hear that, But I think it's pretty cool that they're able to open up their doors. They've been doing this for a decade. Nobody's complained, and then suddenly people, it gets on Twitter and people are throwing out their 2 cents. I don't think it's what you think. Rosie's Bar and Grill just was showing them how a restaurant runs. I mean, I don't see that.
Yeah, it's a business. It's not like they took them to an actual, bar,
right,
that had served drinks. I mean, it's
well,
bar.
I think they do serve drinks, but they're not. It's closed. It's empty. They're not giving all the kids shots. And I mean,
Well, when I think bar and grill, the first thing I think of is Applebee's, TGI Fridays, Chili's,
right.
And Rosie's doesn't seem to be any different.
No, it doesn't. All right, this next one is kind of interesting. A Chicago, and again, this is kind of where are we heading as a society? You get frustrated, and teachers got to be getting frustrated too. So, theater teachers, you were in theater, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so you were in theater. What kind of plays did you do?
I've done Shakespeare. I've done Oscar Wilde, Sam Shepard.
Historical, well-renowned plays that are signs of the times that they were in, right?
Basically, I've done pretty much every period piece you can think of.
One of Chicago's top high schools is investigating its drama teacher after drama students were upset over the teacher's handling of a play they found to be offensive.
Wait, Oedipus Rex?
No. Okay. So anyways, Jones College Preparatory School is apparently they complained the script made light of sexual assault victims, contained inappropriate language and stereotypes, and made cast members feel uncomfortable. He said this is an historical play. It's Shakespeare. It was literally Shakespeare. The complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged is a satirical show that's been performed around the world as a comical, fast-paced interpretation of all 37 of Shakespeare's plays. It is a comical interpretation. It is comical, which obviously we already have satire, of William Shakespeare, who wrote a lot of satire already. So it's a satire of satire. And they're taking it so seriously, these kids, and apparently this teacher said no, we're doing it as is, and they doubled down. The students doubled down, and he said, "Fine, we're canceling it," and he decided to cancel it. So then the students decided to make reports about him. Apparently, he'd been texting the students, but it was all innocent stuff. But I guess it was against the rules. Texting them, "Hey, practice at, we're going to meet here." Texting. I know a lot of teachers that text students, but apparently in this particular school, it was against the rules. And so they reported him for texting. And they started reporting him for all this other stuff. Apparently, now, one thing he did do is apparently he had a student go buy him cigarettes. That's not a good thing. Don't do that. But then they're trying to get him fired now. The kids are. And so they're conducting an investigation. But it's very frustrating that, these students, they're drama kids. They should understand that this is a sign of the times. This is what, you're doing historical plays. And we shouldn't alter, plays and make them into something else. But then again, the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged is kind of an alteration already of Shakespeare. But they say the show his content is very, very outdated. The themes and materials, a lot of jokes and comments, a lot of stereotypes made our cast very uncomfortable. I get that, but it's theater. It's theater, and you hopefully the audience is just as understanding of that and understand that this is theater. This is what it is. I've gone to see historical plays. You go see plays like To Kill a Mockingbird. Are you going to change To Kill a Mockingbird because it makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to.
Story.
They're canceling the book now in a lot of schools and stuff, and that's not right because it brings to light. I mean,
but even To Kill a Mockingbird is more recent than the Shakespeare. You're trying to say Othello is wrong and all these. And
no, Othello dealt with racism.
Again, yeah, but it's just people aren't looking at the historical aspect of it. I do worry sometimes we're getting a little too crazy about this stuff. And then the last one. This one I don't really have an answer for. I don't know. It's Florida. A teacher of the year in Florida, she literally was named teacher of the year. Teacher of the year, okay? They posted on Instagram that she was named teacher of the year, and apparently a student questioned that. okay, questioned her being called Teacher of the Year. Well, apparently, the reason they questioned it is because she has used some colorful language in the classroom. But she says no, it's actually related to the books that we read. We're reading from the book, and sometimes there's suggestive language and racial terms and things like, of mice and men and grapes of wrath and these old historical books, Huck Finn, read in their original context, but you have to have a teacher. As a teacher, if you ever read stuff like that in class, which, I'm not against it, but you have to really strongly preface it and say, look, this is what it was written. This is the way it is, and this is why we're studying it. I wouldn't have students read those words out loud.
No.
And, but you have to. I'm all about preserving the actual context of the books and then having it be a lesson within that lesson.
I mean, Samuel Clemens did it for a reason, man. I mean, he was a man ahead of his time.
So here's the thing. This is where it all went wrong. All went wrong. She is named Teacher of the Year. This student brings into question her being named Teacher of the Year. So she decides to meet with that student, not her student, by the way, a student in the school, decides to meet with him. She walks into the room, meets with him, walks out of the room. Apparently, while she was in there meeting with him, she decided to punch him repeatedly in the face. The Teacher of the Year. That's not how we handle things. That is not it. And so she is now suspended, hopefully fired, because that is assault. She was arrested.
Crap.
Yeah, so apparently she is, that was not good. That was not a way to handle it.
Hold on. So it was just her and him by themselves
she walked into the room and beat him up, apparently. I don't know what happened.
I wonder what he said to her. I'm sorry.
Nothing that he said to her should have.
I know.
Done that. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what he said.
I'm just.
Yeah.
Was his teacher my ex-wife? I mean, what's going on? I mean,
I don't know. Man.
How old is this student?
I don't know. I mean, it had to be been an older student. It was a high school she taught at, but yeah, you don't do that. And so apparently they're trying to figure out what to do, but they did charge her with child abuse. But not a good way to handle it. Not a good way.
Was there anybody else in the room?
No, literally.
So he could have done the thing from
no. She went to the office and reported what she did.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry, I snapped.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, but. It was literally days after being reported Teacher of the Year. And so, I mean, and how do you go years in the classroom and encounter the kids that you encounter, and then that is the one thing that pushes you over the edge? I don't know. But this is the year
and then messing up your chance to go to the NFL. Or
yeah, and somebody said, Aaron says, shows you how much teacher awards are worth. Popularity contest. You know what? That's true. I have noticed that it is very much a popularity contest with these Teachers of the Year. I find, to be honest with you, that Staff Member of the Year is a much more it's usually the person that's doing the best work as a staff member, like in terms of support staff. But when it comes to teacher, it's just who's the favorite. That's all it is. It's not who's working hardest, because to be honest with you, the people working hardest usually aren't the ones that are getting their name out there and being the center of attention and focus. What's funny is I always noticed, and I don't know if other teachers notice this too, but the teachers that were the worst teachers were the ones that made themselves the most visible. And what I mean by that is it's kind of like, they were braggarts, like kind of saying, look what I did. Oh, look at me. But really, they weren't that good. They just had to, position themselves in with administration. It's one of those things like when somebody comes by, look at all this. Yeah, well, yeah, but it was more of a creating a facade for administration. And the good teachers were the ones that were working their butts off in the room and getting things done and making sure the kids were taken care of. The ones that weren't good were wandering the halls, and talking about themselves and going into the office and gossiping and things like that. I found that was, maybe it's different in every school, but I just found that was kind of what I encountered. So I don't know, man, but not good. So that's the teachers in the news for today.
Wow.
Yeah, literally.
Man, lost her mind.
Yeah.
I can't think about it. I mean, there's a few people that I wouldn't mind snapping on. I mean, but a student is not one of them.
No, you have to maintain your composure, and they'll push you. They'll push you to the limit. I've had students in my face yelling.
Well,
I've had teachers in my face, yelling. I've had parents in my face yelling. I've had tense meetings. I mean, talk about the amount of patience that it requires to be a teacher is unbelievable. It's funny because I sometimes look at myself and my people are like, man, you're a great dad, and you have patience and you are really looking out for your kids. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot easier for 2 of them than 27, because I would have to sit in a room full of kids doing things they weren't supposed to. And if you lose your cool in 2 seconds, you're out of that room. The students will jump on it, and it just requires a next level version of patience to be a teacher, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Because being a restaurant manager, I had a guy mad about his steak. I mean, I'm sorry, but it was a medium steak. He got mad and flipped out and started cussing and stuff. And I'm able to walk away and go back to the kitchen and walk into the walk-in cooler, close the door, and punch, an empty case of beer,
Well,
and keep my composure and walk back out.
that's keeping your composure, punching empty cases of beer.
One of those big bags of, that you put the sodas in, those big boxes. And I'll go back out there. Oh, sorry, we got everything fixed for you.
Yeah, and your knuckles are bleeding. I don't know.
I made sure the steak was tenderized. No, but it's, I can't imagine being stuck in a scenario where, you can't just walk out of the classroom and be able to stand up. But yeah, they're going to take over that room. You come back in there, it ain't your classroom anymore.
Right.
I know that rule. I used to be that student.
I know you did. But yeah, it's a different mentality as a teacher. You just got to have that patience, and it's real time decision making. I will say that the teaching is the most exhausting career, and it has nothing to do with the physical demands. It has everything to do with mentally organizing every single second of your day, talking, interacting, quieting. It's as a comedian, I get frustrated when there's one person talking in the audience as I'm talking. As a teacher, you have cell phones out, you have people calling down from the front office, you have pressure of getting test results, you got extra kids coming in and out of the classroom. Miss, can I go to the bathroom? Can you imagine being a comedian on stage and every time a person in the crowd has to use the restroom, they have to raise their hand and ask you as the performer? I mean, like that kind of stuff, people just don't realize that the amount of stress is not an exhaustion. You just get home and you just lay down and you just feel the stress seeping out of your jaw. And it's like, and it was all just constantly watching everything, monitoring, making sure, just having that.
Is that why you were so good at Call of Duty?
Yeah, it was.
I was going to destroy everybody on this
right. I had a lot of pent up frustration. Oh man, and then
Chris.
Oh, I just read that.
It is one of the greatest jokes that's ever been performed on me. Ever.
Somebody accused you of being
of
infidelity with his wife.
My buddy Chris, he's a commercial pilot, and he comes down to do training. You met Chris, and anyway, so I never met his co-pilot Kyle. I don't know what he looks like, so that's his little. He planned it out, drove all the way over here. And they videoed it and everything. So there's this guy in the restaurant like, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm like, yes, sir. What can I do?
I saw the video.
Yeah. Oh my God. To this day, I still think that's the most elaborate joke.
Yeah. He came up to you and he was like, you've been with my wife.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
No. It's like, I got video of it.
It would have been funny if you were like, who? Which one?
I know.
Was it Carol or Sarah?
I know, man. Still this day, that's one of the most elaborate jokes. Kudos to you, Chris. I'm glad you brought that up.
It would have been great if you just reached over slowly and grabbed a wine bottle and just smashed him over the head and ran out the door.
Yeah.
But
lost my composure.
Right. Just a little bit. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out to all the teachers out there as we wind up this broadcast. Thank you so much for teaching. Obviously, today is a little harder than the others. My kids, I'll just let you know right now, wanted candy this morning, and I told them no. Hopefully, other parents told them the same, and I made sure to empty that backpack out because they had a few bags in there that they were trying to store, and I was like, nope, not today. You're not ruining a teacher's day with your sugar rush. So hopefully, the other kids are doing the same, but let's be real, probably not.
This kind of goes into that don't reply all thing, right?
Yeah.
It goes into that rule.
Oh, and by the way, just so you know, there's only like 2 days left on the book. So if you have not gotten your pre-order of the book yet, now's the time because they got all the bonuses and stuff. Patreon members, get extra stuff. If you're a Patreon member, you get an extra tier up on the book support. And don't forget as well that I've got another video coming out today, so you'll be able to check out the video today. So, and it's already up for Patreon, so you should be able to watch that. Anyways, thank you so much, and we'll be back obviously next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers.
Be sure to subscribe and rate this podcast 5 stars. Submit all your awesome teacher stories to cryinginmycar@gmail.com and check out